Mick Cronin is going to slow play the development of Nikola Kucurica this upcoming season by taking baby steps. It's both a good and a bad idea.
You are Locked On UCLA, your daily podcast on the UCLA Bruins. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome, everybody, to this edition of the Locked On UCLA podcast. I'm your host, Zach Anderson-Yoxheimer. Thanks for making this show your first listen each and every day. It's free wherever it's your podcast, and it's available on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, download. Thanks for your support. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Join all the action at FanDuel.com to play daily dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a homer this MLB season. Goodness gracious, what we talk about today. Mick Cronin's quotes and comments on the Jon Rothstein podcast just the other day. Cronin had a long episode, a good quote, good juicy bit of information he was given to us. Obviously, whether it was him poking fun at the defense or lack thereof, the liabilities he had with Tyler Bilodeau and Donovan Dent. The biggest news and the biggest quotes were how he's going to theoretically slow play Nikola Kucurica. These were the quotes used by Cronin to tell Jon Rothstein about his potential plan. It's baby steps. I think I've got to protect him, though, because he's coming to a place where everybody wants your blood. The minute you don't have a great game, they're going to pick you apart. You've got to give the guy the chance. Leave the guy alone. Let him do his thing. He's going to have ups and downs, all right? This is a player who is highly coveted in the offseason. No matter how far it took for UCLA to go get a top-tier talent in this offseason, the Bruins went out and got him. He's 17 years old. The blessing is that he's got time at UCLA. The expectation is 2 years. He can't go to the NBA any sooner, so he has to play 2 years of college ball. The rumors of the 2-year, $12 million deal get him into campus. The Bruins had the perfect opportunity for Kucurica, which was play right away, start right away, develop. And the thing is, the idea for overall growth is to not put pressure on this kid, right? Don't put expectations. He's supposed to be the true superstar in a year and a half from now when the Bruins are clicking on all cylinders, Cronin is defying expectations, and Kucurica is playing like the best player in the world and is the eventual number one overall pick in 2028 like the expectations are. Problem is he needs to fill out. He needs to get a much better three-point shot, become a better on-ball defender, better ball handler, anything and everything. He's got to improve if you want to be the clear-cut, surefire number one pick in 2 years' time. All right. Well, he's got a couple of other youngsters like the Marcus Spears Jr.'s of the world, his Barcelona teammate. There's so many guys now doing this 2-year plan because you can make so much money for 2 years in college that you can prepare for your future, even if you're not the number one overall pick. All right, so Cronin develops Kucurica. That's good. Problem is, Cronin's development plan hasn't always gone according to plan. All right, if you look at the Diamara development plan, some of which was because he was ill, some of which was because of injury, some of which got ripped apart because Dusty May took him away in the transfer portal. Whether it was ethical or not, it's obviously a somewhat reported story that Dusty May wasn't the best of friends with all the Big Ten brethren, but it's already showcased when Cronin has these plans, what's it going to work? Well, if you look at Brandon Williams, a 17-year-old from New York, he's now 4 years in the program, and while Cronin is a big-time truth deliverer to his players, the other thing is, if he's going to be on this long 4-year plan, like Brandon Williams, well, how much has that turned out for him? How much has this all turned out for all these guys, right? Was it a good year with him and Donovan Dent turning it into the NBA guard that was to be drafted? Well, Dent unretired, and is trying to go in the transfer portal to go somewhere else, all right? So these projects that Cronin takes on, because he loves multi-year players, but he needs more 5-star talented players like Kucurica. They haven't exactly panned out, whether it's the flash-in-the-pan superstar or these super young kids that need development. Cronin protecting him one thing to do it in the media. It's another thing to do with his coaching. Because I think in his UCLA career, you could argue about the development of Jaquez, what Tiger Campbell was able to go through, how Juzang became something of an NBA commodity that, man, this is important and integral to, UCLA's success. Got Juzang to the NBA, helped him get to the NBA at least. Awesome. But I just don't know if I like the fact that he's trying to slow play this. I think we, as a general public, should be careful to be like, all right, he needs to ball out against Arizona, although I'll be excited. The ceiling is raised just because Kucurica is on campus. But the fact that Cronin's like, all right, he's aware of whatever he's trying to do, the hype, the ups and downs of this game, of the games by this youngster, this teenager coming to the States, to Los Angeles to play college ball. The hype is there. The national attention will be there, especially after he put up 37 points and a lot more stats against the USA in the FIBA U17 World Cup final. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of eyes on this kid. The problem is whether we can have the expectations at a regular level or if they're going to be sky high for a prospect that is, going to change UCLA basketball for the better, or it'll be the end of the Mick Cronin era. So the slow playing is, all right, take the pressure off his shoulders. It's the right approach. It's the right public approach. I just question whether Cronin has been able to do it correctly in the past and whether he'll be able to execute it with Kucurica in the present with his job on the line. This commitment is something that is to save Cronin from getting axed with his contract after this year or after next year. This is the career-saving, altering move to get a player to commit to UCLA for not just 1, but 2 years. So what part of this development program are we going to make sure that, hey, he's not going to sit out games or practices or not be ready to go? We've seen that with young stars in pro games. They limit innings of rookie players, of players who may be near innings limits. Or we've seen that in hockey or the NBA where maybe they're going to not overplay the kid early on for a team that doesn't need to win. Well, UCLA needs to win. Cronin needs to win in the worst way. And if he's trying to make sure that he doesn't want to overplay this kid, well, look at all the other times he's had a 17-year-old. Now, has he given good advice to the Lamar Baileys of the world who shouldn't have gone pro? I think he did. And when kids aren't ready, I'm pretty sure he'll tell you exactly what role you can fit in the NBA, what your max ceiling is if you don't improve. And Jalen Clark's come back, and he showcased his development. So there is proof of development for player from decent to good to great. Clark showcased that through his junior year. Jaquez showcased that his freshman to senior year, where he was the Pac-12 Player of the Year at the end of his career. But there's also signs of international, very young, talented players not panning out. And I just don't want to see that happen again with probably the most talented player the Bruins have had in a very long time. And that includes a lottery pick in a Daimara, first-round pick in Jaquez, top-tier talent in Clark, what Donovan Dent could and should have been at UCLA. This is a guy that is more talented than all of them. You could argue combined with the international stardom potentially on the horizon of UCLA. But to baby step this along the way, we want the swagger back with the Bruins. We need the swagger back for cheering on watching UCLA. I want him dunking on fools, blocking shots and hitting threes, daggers, and silencing Big Ten crowds and this other hyped up top 15 USC team that they're supposed to have across town with, the Must Bus. No, come on, let's go. Let's have some swagger. Let's see what he can do and get ready to rock and roll. We'll find out eventually if Cronin can execute this 2-year development plan, because if he does, UCLA is absolutely back. And they will have made a Final Four and maybe have contended, competed, or won a national championship by then. If this plan goes according to plan. If everything goes according to plan, that will have happened. I'm just a little wary of if he's going to say baby steps. That's the approach we're going to take. Obviously, every coach wants to be chill with what he can do right away. I just want to be like, if he can play, let him play. Let's not put, the training wheels on. If you don't need training wheels, let him play, and then we work with the growth throughout the 2 years. Okay? But I'm going to tell you next who are the players we should expect to step up if the training rules are on for Kucurica. Where can we look at for the teammates? Locked On UCLA is brought to you by FanDuel. Baseball fans, if you think you know who's hitting a homer today, FanDuel is giving you a free chance to call your shot with daily dingers. It's easy to play. Just make your free pick for who you think will hit a home run in their game. If you're right, you'll receive a profit boost to use on your next bet for a chance at extra winnings. Best of all, you can make a free pick every day throughout the MLB season. Daily Dingers is just another way to stay engaged with every day's games, whether you're following your favorite team or keeping an eye on matchups across the league. Every game is someone capable of going deep, and now you get the chance to make your prediction before first pitch. Take a look this weekend. We still have warmer weather in Southern California. The Dodgers are playing the Brewers, and the guy getting hot for the Dodgers is Mookie Betts. Maybe someone you would have picked to take a daily dinger, but if you want to go check it out, I might go with Mookie Betts right now because he's playing really well the last few games, especially against the last place Royals. We'll see what happens. So, are you ready to play your game today? Join all the action at FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com to play daily dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a homer. Play ball and swing for the fences on FanDuel, an official partner of the MLB. Also, let's talk about the game. Because, man, do you want some epic gear? Do you want some sweet UCLA gear for when they're taking on Cal? Since 1986, the game has been creating classic college hats that fans are proud to wear. Alumnus, current students, season ticket holders, someone who never misses a game. A great college hat is more than just apparel. It's a way to represent your school wherever you go. Namely, UCLA playing Cal coming up pretty soon. This year, the game is celebrating its 40th anniversary by giving fans a chance to save on some of its most iconic college hats. And if you've been thinking about replacing an old hat or adding a new one to your collection, now is the perfect time. Talk about how it represents all the stuff. Hey, your pride, you put on a cap, you're blocking the sun, you're getting some shade, and most importantly, you're probably going to get dapped up with some dudes wearing UCLA. You're like, dude, cool hat, bro. That's what the game can offer with a timeless college style. Hundreds of officially licensed college hats to choose from. You'll find the perfect fit for game day and every day. Don't miss this chance to celebrate 40 years of the game with 40% off your entire order. Visit thegamecaps.com and use the promo code LOCKEDON at checkout. That's thegamecaps.com, promo code LOCKEDON. Celebrate 40 years of the game with 40% off. But don't wait. The anniversary offer won't last forever. Go check it out now. All right, namely, who can step up for the Bruins in the midst of Nikola Kucurica baby steps comments and thoughts of Mick Cronin? Now, I don't want to put too much pressure on the kid, and I've already done an episode about this is still Trent Perry's team. This is Trent Perry who has taken a load off his shoulders. His excellent play will help take the pressure off Nikola Kucurica. It's a good relationship for them to have. All right, who's going to ball out today? I just spent a last episode a couple days ago. If you're everydayers, you've heard me talk about Jalen Petty being one of the best sophomore players in the country, transferring from Texas Tech, starting for a team that's solid in the Big 12, and an underrated addition to this UCLA team. I mean, the Bruins have added in the portal. They did. More so with spots of weaknesses that Cronin did not like last year. Toughness in the backcourt. Adding to where they needed to get younger and better and replace the Sky Clark transfers. Replace what they're losing in Donovan Dent. Maybe not exactly, but the bulk in the minutes and the veteran presence that you can get. So that's where Petty comes in. Perry's a playmaking point guard. You've got Perry and Petty. And then this is where the veteran leadership of Eric Daly Jr. can come in. He's going to be a third-year Bruin. Personally, one of my favorite UCLA Bruins to cheer for. That we need to have ball outs. Honestly, let's be real. We need him to ball out. And can we see what it looks like if he can really be a difference maker? We've seen it over a couple years when he plays the 4. He needs to hit those corner J's, be in front of his guy defensively, and be one of those underrated rebounders for UCLA. So you're looking at 3 starters who can help him out. Here's another thing of a guy who can take a load off of Kucurica's shoulders. Who can take the pressure? Well, JoJo Filan. All right. Cronin even mentioned the name in the podcast with John Rothstein. The athleticism and the defensive presence that a JoJo Filan can play. Can Filan move more to the 4 and replace EDJ? Is he going to be the athletic 3 that plays extremely tough defense as heart and hustle, as the Florida product who chose UCLA in the offseason to come to the Bruins, I think that could be something important and impactful for UCLA while they're developing Kucurica. Why don't we develop the freshman alongside with him? And maybe they might play side by side this year, but the next year they can play, maybe on the court at the same time. I'm not sure. 5-for-5 is an added wrinkle for this. I think between balancing JoJo Filan's development, because he needs to come in and learn how to score and shoot, how EDJ gets the ball, Perry, Petty, and Stink Robinson all play together, this is a team that can play well. And let's not forget, there's still another Euro coming. Gunners Grinvalds. All right? That's a dude who's got a much better shot than I think quite a few UCLA players and fans even realize. Maybe not the players, but the fans. Grinvalds has a nice release from three and might actually be, if he's given time and the opportunity, a guy that can make an impact for UCLA this year in baseline out of bounds plays, for drawing up a three-point shot in a clutch situation. A guy that can make a play when it's needed. All right? Maybe not the game changer, not the lottery pick, but he's somebody who can come in and make a difference in the three-point shooting for UCLA overall as a team. As a freaking team. All right? I'm not going to put the pressure on the centers because UCLA has a lack of depth at the center spot. Kucurica, there's plenty of guys who can rotate in the three. Not world class. That's why Tunde was important. Or getting Blackwell to play three guards. Or getting an Abel. But man, getting Kucurica just raises the ceiling. And I think there's enough players to rotate in and out to not overplay him and overdo it like Cronin is trying to say here. But the ceiling is too great with Kucurica in the lineup and what he showcased at the FIBA U17 World Cup with Serbia and bringing them to the silver medal. Honestly, he was balling against dudes who have NBA prospect potential just by simply stepping on the court against the Americans. And Kucurica wasn't afraid. Got to the line, was tough, made plays, dunked on fools, and had a sense of swagger that we're going to like. I just can't wait for Kucurica's first big moment where he's dunking on people. Obviously, I hope Dick Vitale's healthy and happy, but he's a diaper dandy, baby. Make him a diaper dandy. All right? Don't let him melt away like cotton candy at the fair. Make him a freaking diaper dandy and ball out. Let him do it. Come on, Cronin. Let him cook. Come on, Chef Cronin. Let him cook, please. We'll see how it all plays out. All right, we'll talk more with Ethan Sabo in a future episode. We'll talk more about UCLA football and more with the receivers like I promised. I've been trying to move things in my new apartment, get ready to rock and roll, and make it look like a true UCLA atmosphere in here. All right, hands up, Bruins fans. 8 clap time, baby. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. UCLA. UCLA. Fight, fight, fight. This has been Locked on UCLA. Zach signing off. Go Bruins.